It's been mind-blowing, especially in the last year. XRP's demand has recently skyrocketed. Really, take a look around. More people are watching XRP today than at any other time in history. Additionally, more people are purchasing XRP now than at any other time in history. The excitement surrounding XRP has really blown up in the last few months, dude. The thrill here is on par with rocket ship to the moon. Everyone's mouths dropped open when XRP recently broke over some utterly insane price levels. This is where things get hot, though, because they are completely disparaging that $3.84 peak from 2018. A sizable portion of XRP enthusiasts are yelling for a new all-time high. Their logic: you couldn't even come close to paying those prices, unable to purchase, sell, or take any action. It was merely a crazy international glitch that no one was able to take advantage of. To be honest though, I still maintain that record-breaking high. Compared to other altcoins, XRP is completely unique, and I'm meaningless. Man, this coin is very unique, and in a class by itself after everything it has endured over the last few years. You know what's crazy though? There are still a lot of people who are disparaging XRP today. XRP is terrible. XRP isn't doing well. This is XRP. That's XRP. Look, the price is still $3. It's back under $3. Oh no. Guys, right now we're sitting pretty at $2.97. I was collecting XRP at the time. This bad boy was languishing at less than 30, even 20 cents, 5 years ago. And what do you know? XRP is now dominating the market. In the last year alone, we're still looking at increases of more than 400%. Even today, this coin is still a true beast. Even if the alt season hasn't begun yet, this is extremely optimistic territory. At this moment, we are merely warming up. Over the past month, XRP has been performing this entire consolidation dance. We've basically been witnessing this beast perform the identical maneuver for the past year. That famous consolidation dance, was performed when we completely destroyed that high in January and continued to ride it until July. This is where things get hot, though. The whole community ecosystem is inundating us with these utterly crazy XRP upgrades. Speaking of updates that will astound you, Ripple recently released this BDAX presentation on the 19th, and it has everyone talking immediately. Okay folks, this is where the fun truly begins. BDAX isn't your average business. In fact, they are one of just 4 authorized cryptocurrency custodians in the entire country of South Korea. It's a very elite club, isn't it? You know what they're up to. Through Ripple's custody services, they are introducing incredibly reliable institutional access to RLUSD, XRP, and numerous other tokenized assets. A few important points emerge when we examine what Ripple is trying to tell us. First of all, the clients we are discussing are exclusively institutional. This isn't retail merchandise. The major players who must implement their digital asset strategy at scale are the focus of our investigation. Their ultimate objective is to propel innovation and growth throughout the APAC region, while supercharging the institutional digital asset custody industry. BDAX and Ripple Custody are collaborating. And to be honest, this is really thrilling stuff. In essence, they are providing South Korean institutional clients with this highly regulated method of gaining access to digital assets. There's more though. Additionally, they offer full support for tokenized real-world assets, which is crucial in the rapidly evolving South Korean cryptocurrency market at the moment. BDAX is basically putting themselves in a position to control this entire new financial revolution that is taking place, with the support of Ripple Custody. Let's discuss the enormous influence that is being observed here. First off, and this is really important, BDAX is the first custodian in South Korea that permits institutions to keep and conduct transactions with native assets on the XRP ledger. That alone is groundbreaking material. In less than a month, they then launched their full institutional digital custody platform. They are also the first custodian in South Korea licensed by VAS to fully integrate Ripple's institutional custody stack. And yes, before you ask, yes, XRP and RLUSD are included in this agreement. BDAX is truly making history right now, so pay attention. In all of Korea, they offer the only institutional-grade digital asset custody service. Take a moment to consider that, being crowned as the first institutionally controlled and approved custody solution in South Korea. That's not just amazing, bro. It's truly revolutionary. It exudes a commitment to creativity and unrelenting expansion. This is where things get hot, though. At the moment, players like BDAX are rushing into this market. Guys, we're seeing the beginning of something enormous. This is our time. At last, the major leagues are taking notice and putting their all into it. Hold on, we need to discuss the demand side of things before we get too far into all this crazy stuff. Sincerely, people, this pattern we're observing is present everywhere. There are literally a ton of case studies similar to this one on Ripple's website right now. I understand your thoughts now. All okay, but isn't this simply Ripple advertising itself? And see, I'm going to be honest with you. Indeed, the majority of this information is directly from Ripple. It's their webpage. Naturally, they will highlight their own clients and the specific uses of Ripple's technology by these businesses. It's simply wise business. The majority of Ripple's custody clients, and custody is huge at the moment, no longer play around with traditional old-fashioned assets. Not at all. Tokenized assets are the main emphasis of everything they are creating. Furthermore, tokenization is poised to be the most significant shift in the cryptocurrency landscape. Here's the plot twist, but I'm calling it now. The tokenization page on Ripple's website is essentially a massive ode to XRP and the XRP ledger when you really dive into it, as if they're not even attempting to conceal it. I therefore firmly believe that this will have a significant impact on the XRP ledger and XRP itself when we discuss Ripple custody in the future. Just based on what Ripple is doing with all of these clients, demand is going to blow up, and I mean quickly. But hold on, that's only one component of the whole picture. What then have we been delving deeply into over the last few weeks? Take the Osprey XRP ETF, my friends, as an example. Remember how we discussed this one? With a volume of $24 million, this thing blew it away. I'm talking about far more than the majority of people even imagined was feasible. And it completely broke records. We are discussing the best performance record for a single day in 2025. We're currently witnessing such a crazy demand for XRP ETF products. Let me now explain why I'm bringing this up. There's also this big announcement. Let's go back to the beginning of this month. Brad Garlinghouse revealed some important information regarding CME Group. XRP futures contracts recently became the fastest in history to surpass $1 billion in open interest, according on statistics from CME Group. And it's been a little more than 3 months. That is yet another overwhelming piece of evidence demonstrating the current craze for XRP. So have a look at what we have. The same story is being told by two important players. In addition to the recently established spot ETF, these futures are displaying record-breaking performance. Here's something really important that we must discuss. We recently created a spot ETF, and it is simply breaking records everywhere. Additionally, the futures contracts are reaching all-time highs, which in fact forced CME Group to increase the amount of XRP options they offered. Crazy thing, huh? This is what's most telling about the announcement of the entire matter on the 17th. Since CME Group was only celebrating these victories at the beginning of this month, it is evident that they recognize the enormous demand for XRP. They are presently launching even more items. Why? Because they're essentially saying, holy cow, this has been incredibly successful. After looking at these data, there is no denying the demand. Let's launch more products, they say. Hold on, why should this make you feel excited? Imagine this, ETFs, huh? On the SEC's desk, there is a huge stack of ETF applications that are all yelling XRP. What about the timing? A kiss from the chef. It's ideal for the introduction of an ETF. That's the first point. This is where things get juicy though. The second point. These people essentially possess superhuman vision. They saw this tsunami of XRP demand before it even reached the coast. Now that the Rex XRP ETF's hard data is coming in, it's like seeing their dream come true. They're most likely sitting there doing nothing while the data continues to show how desperate everyone is for XRP ETFs. Every single significant asset management firm and ETF issuer is sitting there thinking, we definitely have, at this precise moment, to purchase an XRP ETF. It's similar to CME organizations realizing that they need a lot more XRP products in their lineup after seeing all this crazy performance data. And for that very reason, they are currently introducing a ton of additional XRP alternatives. This is where things start to become really intriguing.